Welcome back to On the Issues. I'm Phoenix Vice Mayor Dave Siebert. I recently celebrated the groundbreaking for the new Agave Library in my district. Here to tell us details is Sheriff Arnhem, Assistant City Librarian. Also joining me on the show is Carol Finch from the library's Children and Teen Services to tell us about reading programs offered at our public libraries this summer. Ladies, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I tell you what, it was great. This is the first time in the 12 years on the City Council that I actually had the opportunity to do a groundbreaking for a new library in my district. That is really special, really special. And I know a lot of work went into the preparation for this not only the event, but also the planning for the library. And I can remember when it went out for naming. It was called Creosote. And I remember telling Tony Garvey, I said, creosote, I think, is a carcinogen. No, she said, it couldn't be a carcinogen. I said, I think it is. So we had kind of a bet. If we look up on a search engine on the internet, if it comes back as a desert plant, which is what we name most of our libraries,
Correct.
then we'll name it creosote. If it comes back first as a carcinogen, we'll look at changing the name. And sure enough, it came back as being a carcinogen first. And so you went back through the process again and came up with Agave. Actually, I really love the name, Agave. And so, great name, new library, and its design is by architect Will Bruder.
Correct.
And he designed our main library, the Burton Bar Library.
Yes, he did. And the Choya Library.
And the Choya. So could you tell us a little bit about the new library that's going in up at Pinnacle Peak and 36th Avenue?
Thank you, Vice Mayor. We're very happy to be bringing a library finally to the far northwest part of Phoenix. Agave Library, when it opens in the summer of 2008, will be our farthest north library. And it is being funded through funds through the foresight of the 2001 Citizens Bond Committee, who saw the great growth that's happening in population in that area and knew that we're going to need a big library. And we call this one of our big libraries because it's going to be 25,000 square feet. It's a regional library, and we provide a bigger collection. It'll be 120,000 items, including many DVDs and CDs, more than 50 public computers, and a whole host of services that I'll be happy to tell you about.
Well, great. You know, before we go into that, you know, I'm glad you mentioned which bond program was it, because most people think it's the 06 bond program. And I said, no, we have been working on this a long, long time. In fact, the thoughts of putting a library somewhere up there was going on in the late 90s. And then in 2001, we had the wonderful support of our community that said we need more libraries. And then here we are into the 06 bond program. And of course, it was at the end of the program. So I won't be on the council when it opens, but I sure enjoyed working on it all the years to get it to the point that it is. So let's talk about some of the amenities that are there.
Will Bruder, as you mentioned, is our architect, and Will is a very experienced designer of libraries. So when we started working with the citizens of this area in 2004, we had a public meeting, and you attended, Vice Mayor. There were over 100 people there, and they worked with Will to find out what they wanted their library to be in their community. We're really proud at the library department because we spend a lot of time with our citizens figuring out what they want their library to be. Every one of our libraries looks different. This library will look like no other in the city of Phoenix. It will be a green building, and that doesn't mean it's going to be colored green. It's going to be a sustainable building. It will be built so that the materials used in the building will use as few natural resources as possible, and we will operate at highly efficient energy levels. You enter the building, and it will, at first, I think what you'll see immediately is a huge reading garden to the south. The entire south side of the building is a reading garden. There is also going to be a large popular reading materials and the DVD popular materials area. That will be right at the front door. There's going to be a meeting room, a community meeting room, and I know that's going to be appreciated because there's not very much community meeting space in the area right now, so it will seat 75 people. There will be a Friends book sale area that's going on all the time, so people can buy used books if they want to do that. There's going to be a teen space. And we're very, very grateful to the support of the USAA companies for their support and donation for the teen space. We use the ideas from the teens at Sandra Day O'Connor. And as we do in all of our libraries, the teens decided what they wanted in their space. So they're getting group study area. They're having 12 computers, that's all theirs, listening stations, and so forth. And it's always a beautiful area that's very different from the rest of our library. 50 public computers, so internet users should have easy time getting on. And I want to tell you about the children's area because it's going to be very special. It's called the Children's Pavilion. It's going to have a separate story room, a separate area for birth to 5, children birth to 5, that we call the first 5 years. And in that area, parents and children can work together to help children get a strong first foundation in how reading skills. It will have DVDs and CDs just for children, and 6 computers just for children. So I know your son Matthew, who's 3 now, will be, right, am I correct?
He just turned 4.
Just turned 4, so he's going to be one of our first library card holders for the Agave Library.
I hope so. In fact, let's look at the video of some of the action that was out there at the groundbreaking in April. So there he is, my little buddy Matthew, and he's looking around, waving to his mom over there. But no, he really loves to read. I mean, he just really loves it. He just, there's nothing better than when you get home after a stressful day. Hard to believe we have a stressful day at the city, right? Right. And you come home, Daddy, will you read to me? There's nothing better than that. There really is nice. And so, yes, I certainly will be there in the summer of 08 to walk through the doors, sign him up with his first library card, and have him read in that. And what's neat is the way you describe how the kids have different areas for the different age groups. And so not only our great corporate sponsor like USAA, but also for the smaller kids so they can have something that really fits them.
The teen area is on one side of the building, and the children's area is on the opposite end of the building.
As it should be.
As it should be. And joined together between those 2 areas is a large reading lounge for adults. That is being funded by our friends at Wells Fargo Bank.
Great.
And I want to also mention another corporate sponsor that we have for this building, because our corporate sponsors are the ones who help us bring further amenities that beyond what the city's able to fund, and that is the Ryan companies. I think the most important thing that I can say about a new building in Phoenix is you're going to have an award winner here. You've got an award-winning architect. The community is so excited about it. There were over 100 people, I think, at the groundbreaking. Right. They came from the neighborhood, they walked.
It's truly a multi-generational library. So let's talk about the kids and the summer reading program real quick, because even though this won't be open for this summer, it will be for next summer.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about, because they have Cholla Library that they can go to for the folks in my district, and also Juniper, which is across the freeway over on Union Hills. Let's talk about what's available to the kids.
Well, we're excited, as we always are. May 29th, we will open 2 reading programs, and one is a county-wide reading program, which actually can be accessed by families throughout the whole county in many of our library systems. And it's for birth through 18. It's sponsored by the Arizona Republic and the Arizona Diamondbacks. And I just want to show you a picture so that when families see these pictures, they will know that this is a summer reading program, and children can earn prizes and read and listen. It's for listeners all through the summer until July 28th.
And so each number is a book?
Each number is, you can read for 20 minutes, 1 book, or 50 pages, so there's a great deal of flexibility in this program. And as you read your way from the library to the ballpark, and there are several prizes that can be earned along the way, and some of the prizes are our frog, our inflatable frog, and he actually will go around your head, just like this. And then we have a dino grabber, and
now that is useful.
Isn't this great? I love this dino grabber. Yeah, very good. And a bonus ticket to a Diamondbacks game if they go all the way through the game board and finish.
I tell you what, that's just great. Not only for the Diamondbacks being a great partner, but the kids having a chance to go to a ball game and have a learning experience at the same time.
Absolutely. And then we have our own separate teen reading program, and it's called Read Your Bleep Off. It has symbols for the bleep. And this is a small picture of it, but the artwork was designed by a teen winner, and we selected, a panel selected the artwork. And her name is Amy Cox, and she's actually from North Phoenix. And she gave us, we selected the artwork, and then the whole framework for the teen reading program is designed by teens. Our whole mantra for teens at the library is by teens for teens, so we develop everything with input from teens. And then this program has a lot of community sponsors and prizes like movie passes, gift certificates, and drawing prizes like an MP3 video player. So we're we're hoping that will impress our teens and get them to come down to our programs. And then besides these programs to give incentive to children to read through the summer, which is extremely important because if they don't, then they're back in remedial reading by fall. Besides those, we have in-house programs. So each of our libraries will have programs, each library 1 day a week at 2 o'clock. You can find things like programs on reptiles, puppet shows, magic shows. There's a variety show based on Harry Potter. Just all kinds of activities. Plus, it's nice and cool in our libraries. We have welcoming staff trained to work with families and teens, and we just hope everybody comes down to our libraries. We have 15 libraries in the city of Phoenix, so there should be a library pretty close to everybody.
And next year, one even closer for the folks up
Yes.
in Northwest Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I tell you what, this is great news, because I really encourage the parents to make sure their kids, and especially in the summertime, utilize our parks and recreation facilities and, of course, our libraries, because it's much more advantageous for us to spend the money getting them a better education and making them productive citizens when they grow up and keeping them out of the criminal justice system. And when they have great people in the library system and also in the parks department that give them good mentors, guidance, help, and to keep them off the streets and give them something truly productive to do during the summer months especially. And the folks at the library department has done such a terrific job. They really do, and I certainly thank you for the great job and the great support. And I really am looking forward to the Agave Library opening up next summer in '08. But then again, the folks up there that are really excited about having it, they can see it as it progresses, because construction is probably going to start
I'm hoping in June.
in June. So this summer they'll be seeing it being built.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
That's all the time that we have for this month's On the Issues.